to the bad guy. Yeah, Chico. Yeah, Chico. You're talking to the bad guy. Toothpicking your eye. I'm that guy. Hey, yo. Look, something happened to these, something happened to you, okay?
What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Bonds, man. Bonds McClellan on SMACM World. I got a very special guest in August, man. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, Bonds. How you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Great, man. So, you know, how I start off my interviews, man, on SMACM World is give people their roses, man. Man, first of all, you've been a great friend of mine for over 15, 20 years, man. Always been a good stand-up guy, man. A man of integrity. Very respectful, humble guy, man. Too humble sometimes because conversations we have. Trailblazer, and we'll get into that, you know, as far as the interview, man. But I really appreciate how you've been a friend to me, man. Always been supportive of whatever I had going on, and vice versa with me. So, man, I just glad you came on the show, man. Good,
appreciate
finally got you on here,
me,
man. Yeah,
appreciate you having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, man, most definitely, man. You got some swag too. I see you over there, real clean too, man.
Trying to get like you, some slight.
Yeah, man. So, man, let's jump right into it, man. That's you know, I did mention something about being a trailblazer, man. You play sports, obviously. So tell me, who was some of the people that, like, mentors or parents or whatever, who was the people that kind of motivated you to be a community figure, man? Like,
oh, well.
Like, far as sports, like.
Just, man, really just try to be somebody that tries to help, because that's what I had. You know, my dad was my first coach.
Same here.
East Biloxi, O'Hanlon Gym.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
okay.
You
got to know. You got to know.
You got to know where
you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Right there in the point. And just the investment he made while working a full-time job, pastoring a church, and as an adult, you understand what type of sacrifice was.
Man. Come on, man.
Because to get off from work and then come coach kids and then go minister and do all that.
Come on, man.
I mean, we won 4 straight city championships.
Come on,
who count? You know, yeah. Shout out Pops.
Yeah, man.
But you know, so him, of course. You know, my mom in the front yard with me, whatever I wanted to do.
Right.
She was always supportive. And then you had people like Coach Steve Johnson, Miss Gwen. Yes. They ran the gym.
Most definitely.
You know, they were always there. Coach Bell and Miss Sherry Bell, who runs, you know, Parks and Recs in Biloxi now. So it really was just always, these people showed up consistently. It was a lot of other people. And then, you know, once I got to high school, you know, we were loaded in basketball.
Yes, definitely.
So I played at Biloxi my sophomore year, and you know, I played JV, but it wasn't. I
played JV too. So
listen, as a sophomore, so varsity won state in 01.
Yeah. Right.
So we were loaded. So the 2 guys that were in front of me both went D1.
So
it just was what
I can live with that.
I can live with that. You know, I can live with that. But man, playing for so Coach John Pugh was the head coach,
right?
And Seba Wyndham was actually
Walking
Monument was actually our coach, and he was assistant coach on varsity, but he was our coach. And just as structured as he is now as a varsity head coach, he took time to teach the game to us and was just as structured, doing his job, you know, at that level, and learned a lot of leadership things just by watching him. And then, you know, his dad, I went to Duquesne in East Biloxi, so his dad was our PE coach back in the day.
Over 40 plus years, he was my dad PE coach
right.
at Nichols. So that's how far you
how far back it goes.
Yeah.
So that's just, you know, and then college coaches, you know, Tony Konchesky, my defensive coordinator in college, and then my head coach Ty Mooney in college, you know, and Diallo Burks, who was actually my special teams coach. He wanted me to come play receiver, but I like the other side of the ball, right. So I stayed over there. But you know, those are some guys that on and off the field just
really impact you, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Most important thing that I want to highlight, man, is your dad, man. Who's a minister. He's also a business owner, running a funeral home in Biloxi. Definitely got another respect for him when you become his age. When you become older, you understand, like, man, dad,
what it takes.
Like, because I had my dad on the show, and you know, I gave him, I'm like, man, dad, I thank him all the time, but when you reflect on what your parents do for you, you owe them forever.
Facts.
Yeah, so definitely, man, shout out to your dad, man. He's always a good stand-up guy, man. I always love talking to him and seeing him. Let's go. So you said you mentioned you played basketball. Also had a love for football as well. Which one was your favorite sport, and why did you end up picking that one?
So, basketball is my first love,
Me too.
but football kind of picked me, I guess. In junior high,
Michelle or Fernwood?
I went to Fernwood. So, all my siblings went to Nichols.
So that's
Then they rezoned us.
Okay.
And I went to Fernwood. And I was hurt because all my friends went to Nichols.
Right.
But, so played for Sonny P over there, Sonny Pizzarich. Played running back, defensive end, return the kicks.
Yeah.
And, football just kind of came natural to me in a way. And then I didn't play anymore because, in Biloxi, you focus on that round ball. I wanted to play basketball,
Yeah.
But so sophomore year, so I grew 4.5 inches my junior year in high school. So, like, sophomore year, I was kind of short, but I was in love with the ball.
Yeah.
So junior year, I moved to Georgia, go to Sprayberry High School in Marietta.
Okay.
And again, football found me. High school coaches came and got me out of class because by this time I had grown a little bit, had a little bit more size on me. They're like, "Who's this kid walking around the school?"
Yeah.
And and I remember we were in practice and they sent me on a cat blitz.
Okay.
It was really a safety blitz. It was robber on the backside.
Listen, I know what cat blitz is.
Yeah, my bad.
Viewers might not know.
My bad. So basically, it was go get the quarterback.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to stay up. I knew that, but they ain't know I knew.
Yeah.
And I felt that, I
Had to put that thing.
I did, man. I did. And after that, it kind of came like, something I fell in love with and was fortunate enough to have the opportunity, sometime later to play in college.
Man, most definitely, man. Boy, him on that cat release, man. Yeah, there was different. So listen, man, what you got opportunity to play college? What school did you go to?
LaGrange in Georgia, about 40 minutes south of Atlanta.
Okay, yeah. I pass by there all the time. My sister lives in Atlanta, man. LaGrange. So I know you're not gonna say it. So you're gonna put the pressure on me to say it. LaGrange was did you help, like, you was one of the first players on the team, right? Like the class you was on that first team that played football. So
really, man, it's a testimony in that, right?
Okay.
Real quick, like, so I played my junior year. I moved back to Biloxi my senior year.
Okay.
Didn't play anything.
Wow.
Because I
knucklehead, man.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was, I was like, man, you need to graduate. You don't need to be worried about that ball,
Yes, that hurt.
And I felt away, you know what I'm saying? And so then I go to Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I'm not playing ball, I'm just going to school. Katrina hits. When Katrina hits, I'm be honest, bro, like, so me, a friend of mine, caught a ride to Jackson, slept in the airport of Jackson. Their mom had buddy passes to get us to Atlanta. We flew from Jackson to Atlanta, stayed at my mom's twin sister house. And so, like, this is after Katrina, so everything
crazy.
So, down here for the storm, everything. So I'm seeing what's going on, but I'm like, man, I need to be in school.
Right.
Just from a standpoint of structure. I knew I needed structure,
Right.
So I went outside and I prayed, man. And I prayed, I said, God, because it was still eating at me, I wasn't playing ball. I felt like I had more to give to the game. So I said, God, I want to go to school somewhere peaceful. I want to play ball. And never heard of LaGrange College before, man.
Okay.
For real. But before I went outside and prayed, I was calling around schools. I called Kennesaw State because I knew where Kennesaw was. I had heard of it. And I was just on the internet. I ain't never heard of LaGrange. I'm clicking stuff. Hey, y'all, are y'all letting anybody in school that's displaced?
Yeah.
So when I go inside, man, my friend comes running downstairs and said, man, LaGrange said bring our stuff.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how to get there. So we get dropped off. Kid you not, man. And LaGrange at the time was $12,500 a semester to go to school there. And those people gave me scholarship money to go to school. So I'm like, man, this is a blessing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Again, like it happened in high school, here comes offensive line coach, Coach Shantz, is walking in pupil account or whatever they call it in college, admissions. So it was like, hey, when you get done filling this stuff out, come down to the football office. LaGrange College had been a school since the 1800s. Okay. This was gonna be their first year with a football team. So don't tell me God don't answer prayers.
Most definitely.
And so went there, was able to play ball, do some great things there, and really learn the structure that helped me do what we're going to talk about in a minute.
Okay, man. That's dope, man. Hey, man, we got some ads we got to pay. We got to go to these commercials, man. We'll be right back. Everybody, it's Coach Boz here, founder of SMACM Athletics, SMACM World, and also co-host of Boz and Bingo. With my good friend Seneca Hampton, Coach Bingo.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, Coach Bingo? So we have a show where we highlight high school and middle school athletes. But right now it's football season, and we've been covering all over the coast and keeping the fans, in tune with what's going on. And we got basketball season coming up, so we pretty much are getting excited about that as well. Along with the Street Geeks, our ultimate goal is to make a positive impact around the community around us. We're asking for a donation in exchange for advertising your business and your products on our shows. With your help, we know we can make a positive impact around the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. If you have any questions, contact streetgeeks.com. Either you could call Coach Bingo as well.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Coach Bingo back with another week of SMACM Top Performance.
Yeah, Chico, something said a bad guy. Yeah, Chico. Yeah, Chico, you're talking to the bad guy. Toothpicking your eye. I'm that guy. Hey, y'all. Look, something happened to these, something happened to you, okay?
What's going on? Welcome back, man. Listen, so you at LaGrange College right now. Talk a little bit more about your first football game, man. Let's skip to that part because I already know the process. You already got blessed for the opportunity with scholarship money and play football. Let's talk about that first game, man.
So yeah, man. So I remember before the game, so you had a lot of excitement. They had all the we were Nike. I don't know if they're still Nike, but we were Nike. So
that's a big deal.
Yeah, man. We you want the Nike stuff.
Yeah,
so
that was a big deal.
So man, we clean. I had the Michael Vicks.
Oh yeah.
I had the Michael Vicks. I wore number 2. I remember.
Oh, you got that dude.
Yeah, I wore number 2. So in training camp and in tour days, a lot of people put what number they wanted. Mm-hmm. And coach was like, man, we're gonna do it, numbers by, playing time. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm wearing number 2. I'm wearing number 2. So ended up with number 2, man, and opened the kickoff, first tackle school history, because that was a big thing. Who's gonna get the first one? So we were hyped about that. We got blasted.
You got the whole story. Listen. I always knew that you was the first person to get a tackle in school. You could always live with that. They can't never take it away. One boy left that part out. I was like, we got blasted by it.
It was a tough day. It was a tough day, man. They kept running. They kept running the ball. It was a lot of ISO.
Big boy ball.
And yeah, man, the guards was getting up on the second level. Yeah. Speaking French to some people, but you know what I'm saying. It was a long day. So, but it was a good experience, man. It was a good experience overall.
Most definitely, man. So, LaGrange, you eventually, everybody graduate and move on. And so, what are you thinking after your career's over with? Are you thinking try to? I didn't mean to skip that part. Do you think going to the next level, or are you like, man, it's time to get a 9 to 5? It's time to have my own business. Where are you at this point?
So, it's Black History Month, and so this will be, interesting. Okay. So because there was actually a lot of issues with police brutality at the time in the area.
Okay.
And so I played at LaGrange my junior year. When I say in the area, at home on the coast, So I played at LaGrange my junior year. My cousin had moved in with my mom to work after the storm.
Okay.
And he was out long and short of it. He got beat up by the police. Wow. To the point his kidneys failed. And he would have died in my bed because they, from what they said, They strapped him down, and his circulation messed up. My mother's a medical professional, said you need to go to the hospital when he came in. So he came home. She took him to the hospital like one of your kidneys had failed. You don't have kidney function. So I'm in Georgia. So I get this call. And so it's my mother, my cousin who's incapacitated at the time at the house. And so I was like, end of the season, I was like, Coach, I gotta go. And I never told them why I left. Right. They thought I left for other reasons, but I'm like, I can't really divulge to you. I didn't feel comfortable telling them why I left. Right. But I was happy with what I was able to do with the game. Was grateful. And man, because they send combines, NFL combines to every school, and I felt like I was pretty good. I mean, I was probably a mid to high 4.5 on hand time. I played at about 195, 200. You know what I'm saying? But no, bro. Like, I mean, real, yeah. like being honest with myself, yeah, mentally, I felt like, okay, I could play the game at a high level. I said, but if this is the end of my career, I'm okay with it. Right. And I just kind of knew that was it for me. And plus everything going on at home. I came home, finished up at William Carey, and went on about my day. Right,
man. And I can agree with you, man. I had a PCL injury, shoulder injury, and my tryout was in Atlanta. Falcon coach straight up told me it was a guy. He was blazing, man. He ran like a 4.31. I don't know who he was. I was going for receiver. And I ran like a 4.45. I slipped, and I was faster than that. But I knew after I ran and they called my timeout, I said I'm done. I knew then. I said this is it. Right. Like I'm not doing the chase no more. So, man, I definitely feel you. And I was satisfied with the game. I got a chance to play at an NFL stadium. I got a chance to play at one of the most prestigious universities, HBCU at Tuskegee University. So I was fine with it, and I think that comes from my parents. Like, hey. My dad definitely say it's more to the game, and this is why I'm going to segue to you.
Well, before I go there, you were blazing. Like, you was super fast. You like to give flowers. Like, you had a different level of speed than I had, Vaz. I mean, so I feel what you're saying. You talk about me being modest, but I kind of knew where I was.
Hey, we all do, man. But, but I wanted to go to, man. Game we gave to the game, and the game gave back to us. So, I want to know what made you. Because this is a trailblazing part. This is with the segue. You hit me up, man. I never forget, man. You hit me up and say, hey, Boz, man, finna start a 7-on-7. 7-on-7 was fairly new. I want to say the state of Mississippi, period, because it wasn't as popular right now. It's one of the hottest things in the spring and the summer. But you stuck your neck out and had built one of the biggest national powerhouses in Mississippi grind. That was your 7-on-7 team. Talk to the people about how you just wanted to help the community and help kids get to college. Talk about that a little bit, man.
Well, I knew. So for what I maybe understanding what I didn't have from an athletic standpoint, I've always had a good business mind. And I've always been able to organizationally put things together. God just blessed me with that. And I just understood. I went in and did a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats with football in the state of Mississippi. And honestly, our kids were under-recruited outside the state. And so I wanted to go out and find out why. So when I started talking to college coaches around the country, they said two things. They said, well, we don't recruit the state of Mississippi because we feel like these kids won't go to school out of state and they won't qualify academically. And then another coach broke it down to me even further. He said, Ian, you got to think about it. He said, if I fly into downtown Atlanta or if I send a coach to downtown Atlanta, use our resources from our school, I can hit 20 to 25 high schools within the span of 2 to 3 days and probably see, 15 to 50 recruits that we may offer or have a shot at that can help our program. If I allocate resources and send a recruiter to South Mississippi, I may see 3 or 4 kids that we may want. So it's a numbers game, which I knew they were going to want more kids, but they had never experienced these untapped resources. So I said, what we have to do is go to them. And basically, for lack of a better term, if you're out in the ocean, you got to shoot up that flare gun. And that's what we did. we were able to, so that was really the reason behind it, just showing that Mississippi was just as talented as anywhere else, because I've been fortunate enough to travel. And I was like, man, I know kids better than him, but he's got offers to USC. And this kid has no offers.
Right.
And really just understanding. And guess what? Some of these kids actually did qualify academically. And we can talk about that in detail a little bit later. But, so be able to dispel some of those myths to help the kids throughout the state.
Yeah, most definitely, man. You definitely pioneered that, man. It wasn't that many 7-on-7 teams. And I can go on I'm not saying because you're my boy, but I can go on a limb and say you were the only one. You were one of the first. I'm gonna say that you were one of the first ones to start that 7-on-7 and be nationally known, because you went to the CAM, you went to the IMG, you went to those prominent 7-on-7 tournaments and did y'all thing, man, and held your own, man. But another thing, how many kids that went through your program in Mississippi? How many years did you run it for 1K? 4 years. How many kids that came through Mississippi Grind that you were able to help either get to college or NFL? How many kids did you help get to college? That's the first question.
Well, I'll say we did our part.
There you go.
I say we did our part.
I knew it.
Well, look, because you don't want to take credit.
But look, you're not taking all the credit. But you helped put them in position.
48
kids.
48.
How many of the kids out of those 48 kids that went on to Division I? How many kids did you help? Well, how many kids were fortunate enough to go to the NFL out of those 48?
I think we counted 12. 12 kids, all state of Mississippi.
That's big, man. That's big. That's huge, man. You gave those kids something to look forward to. Push them academically. You push them on the field. I basically called you. I was humble enough to call you and say, man, what did you do? I got the SMACM Elite 7-on-7 team, and we're building right now. And I simply said, man, Ian knows the best way to put the kids in the best position. I tell the kids, I'm not even worried about us winning championships right now. I want you to understand how to compete, for one, get the grades right, and then we'll worry about winning those 7-on-7 tournaments. So I want to say thank you for, even because people don't share game.
Right.
People don't share game now. I know you was 7-on-7 guru. You was a college football athlete, but you also an author, man. Man, talk about a little bit about the 3 books that you're gonna be releasing this year.
Oh, so that's really, quiet as kept, that's my passion, writing. So I've written 2 fiction novels. One will actually be re-released on audio balls, come-of-age story, football, so 2 of my passions.
Gotcha.
I have another historical fiction, science fiction book called Alamat and the King's Trek. And then I write poetry and essays about a lot of different things. So people have been asking for it. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to release a book of essays and poems called The Greener the Grass.
I got you.
So all of that will be coming in 2022, Lord allow.
Man, most definitely, man. I seen you in work. I seen a video you dropped on IG, man. Did your poetry, man. You be doing your thing, man. You in a whole nother element. It's good to see, your people do stuff that they're passionate about. And it's just like, I'm media now. So I love media and journalism, man. It's just good to see you do that poetry, man. So, man, definitely be looking out for that, man. Let us shoot us, the release dates so we can let our fans know and stuff. So we can definitely promote that, man, as well. But man, it's Super Bowl week.
Okay.
And we're gonna end it on this, man. Super Bowl week, Bengals Rams. I know you know Cam. Cam is one of your former Mississippi Grind players, man. So who you got?
So I'm always gonna ride with the Silk.
Right. Off the street.
Cam, he been a dog.
Yeah. Absolutely. I remember you talking about him as a kid.
Monster, man.
Yeah,
at 15, but yeah, I mean, honestly, so I really think Cam's gonna have a good game. But I think it's gonna be close because Cincinnati, they're battle tested. If you look at who they had to beat to get there, I always look at what you had to do to get to the championship. Because if you're battle tested mentally, then you're gonna be ready for a fist fight. And I think Cincinnati going through Tennessee, Big Jeff Simmons, another Mississippi guy. Yeah. That defensive line. So
Chris Jones the next week,
another Mississippi guy. You know what I'm saying? And so I think their offensive line has had to improve.
Yeah.
And then I think the Rams defensive line is good, but it's different. They're more pass rush. So I think if Cincinnati can run the ball at some of those pass rushers, I think they'll give themselves a chance. Man, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good.
Wait.
I can't, you know,
I can't wait.
I can't wait either, man. So,
Yeah, man.
and then you know LSU.
Yeah, man, you got Joe
Burrow
and
Jamar,
Jamar Chase, and then you got
OBJ on the other side,
So-
and Andrew Whitworth.
Man, he's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, people forget he's an LSU guy, but yeah, man.
Yeah, man, he's definitely looking forward to that, man. So, man, look, we don't hold you up, man. We appreciate your time, man. I love you so much, man.
Love
for
you
coming
too,
on,
bro.
Man. I really appreciate you, man. I know you're gonna do great things as an author, man, and you know we definitely gonna keep in touch, man. Appreciate it, man. COVID proof, man. Hey, it's COVID vibes, man. Shabbat Untitled Chapter world, man. We'll see you later, man.
All right, Brody.
All right.
Yeah, Chico, talking to the bad guy. Yeah, Chico. Yeah, Chico, you're talking to the bad guy. Toothpicking your eye. I'm that guy. Hey, yo. Look, something happened to these, something happened to you, okay?